All right, guys, I pulled the Norden out of the hangar. Wanted to do a quick 10-minute-ish video on just what my impressions of it are so far. I've got about 45 hours in it now, and I've learned a lot about it. Been getting comfortable with it. Got a lot of numbers to share with you on what I'm seeing, and just to give you an update here. Trying to get used to the small tires back on it. I had 31s on it for a couple months, and that gave me a little more angle of attack here on the ground, but it slowed me down. I'm seeing about 6 miles an hour faster with these tires, and so gathering more data with this too. I'd say 29-inch tires are going to be my go-to, just for what this airplane's probably going to like. So we've got the 4-blade E-prop. Not a bad constant speed prop. Climb performance, cruise performance on it's really good. My one gripe would be how hard it pulls right out of the hole on takeoff. So once you get moving, it starts pulling hard. The constant speed option come July with the Mosaic rule change is going to be big. That'll be really nice to be able to keep it LSA and put a constant speed on here. We'll also be able to increase the gross weight on it. So right now, being light sport, we're at the 1320. The factory is targeting maybe 750 kilos. We might be able to go up to 800 kilos. We'll see what they figure out. But that still leaves, that gets us, the 750 is 1653. So with full fuel and this plane's empty weight, we still have 489 pounds to work with. So that leaves you a lot of pilot and baggage to put in it yet, even at the 750. Cooling on this thing, they just did a spectacular job with the cowling design, with the cooling. This has got dual radiators in the nostrils, and then it's got a single oil cooler down here. I've got a little tape on those just because I've been flying in cooler weather here in December. During a 100-degree day, I'm seeing 190-degree water temps, about 210-degree oil temps. Got a large inlet here for a cold air intake. Got the air filter right there. Intercooler above and behind. Right now, I'm seeing 90-degree Fahrenheit airbox temperatures. And that is actually airbox at the engine, so post-turbo. 100-degree day, about 127 degrees. Working it hard. So they did a great job. It's cooling very well. This plane has a standard gear on it. Got the Acme gear. Doing everything I ask of it. There is a shock option, so it is going to have the side shocks, a little taller stance. That will be an option. It will have a speed penalty, so I don't have that documented, but I believe it's a little draggier, going to slow it down. Coming inside, interior, 30-inch width. It's got lots of headroom, lots of leg room. I enjoy the space I have in here. I like these rudder pedals. I can wear big boots and still not worry about being on the brakes or dragging the brakes when I'm just steering or worrying about that. So I like those rudder pedals. I can stick my legs out in between the rudder pedals and, straighten my legs out for long flights. Like that. The pod, it makes for some limited real estate for avionics, but you can fit a bunch in there. The visibility it gives you on the side I really like. So I like that part of it. Show you on the stick here, our slat switch. We got slats out, got slats in. Takes about 3 seconds to deploy or retract. We've got trim. We've got our flap handle here. We've got our extended baggage area. I did sleep in this at Lone Star, and it did work. I had the headroom I needed. I could roll over if I needed to. It gets a little tight, but it did work for sleeping option. It's unique. We've got the slats here. The first thing I noticed about those, first time I saw it, is how far they droop down. You've got the flat bottom of the wing that basically it intersects about half slat. So that slat, if you can see how far down that slat is drooping, that's unique. A lot of the hinged slats, they're not able to droop this far, and I'm sure is hurting some of the effectiveness. And then we've got a curved bracket here, so the whole travel of this keeps a pretty good aerodynamic profile for if you only want to go half slat to full slat. It's still working very well. All right, let's look at flaps here. Got our flap handle here, and there's just all kinds of flap out there on that wing. I have to step back and give you some perspective on how much of this wing is flap. Just a big barn door flap. And this wingtip and aileron, you know, you've got just a smaller area for your aileron, but this droop tip really helps trap some air in here for your aileron to work well. We've got a freeze type aileron and an under camber on that. Plus, the aileron cuts up into the wing a little farther, so you've got a little bigger aileron because of that. And there you can see that under camber a little bit. But that aileron works really good in slow flight. Still lots of command. Plus, it's a push-pull connection. A lot of people comment on how smooth this airplane just feels in the air. The way it rolls, low stick pressures, just riding on rails. And then the flap, got the double slotted design here, so it's letting some air sneak through there and keep that air attached to the top end. The other thing these flaps really do well is keep the nose down. You don't have a lot of AOA in landing configuration because these flaps really put a lot of nose down pressure on the airplane. This attitude, this 3-point attitude that it's in right now is going to be really close to the attitude it will be flying in slow flight coming into land with the slats out and the flaps down. So that's really handy for visibility, seeing your landing spot. It just doesn't have you sitting, hanging on the prop, looking up at the moon, not having any visibility. So there's a walk around. I'll probably do a more in-depth walk around and talk about everything a little more for those who want to stick around and watch a long video. I want to talk lastly about what I'm seeing speed-wise. Man, there's so much out there that I'm trying to weed through. You know, what's the Carbon Cub UL doing for speed actually? What's the Legend Nomad doing actually? This thing having a ground adjustable prop, I really only can, dial in for a specific altitude and test in that range. And my next thing, I'm actually going to pitch it heavy and go up to 10,000 feet and get some numbers from up there. But for right now, I have it pitched for flying around here 2,000 to 3,000 feet of altitude. And the numbers I'm seeing is about 127 mile an hour true at 8 gallons an hour fuel burn. So that's very respectable. That's getting along pretty fast. I am expecting to see somewhere close to 150 mile an hour true at 10,000 feet. So once this thing can have a constant speed prop and that adjustment is on the fly, that's going to be a lot easier to test and document. On slow flight, I am really rock steady at 40 mile an hour indicated. When I get down into ground effect, I can bleed off. 30 is about what I can maintain stable in ground effect, and then it's given up at about 27 mile an hour. So really forgiving, docile, and slow flight, and I'll get pretty slow. But all right, stay tuned for more videos coming out, but there's a quick walk around of the Norden.